So this is your instruction manual. Follow through this one. So the button configuration is always from the roundhouse all the way to jab. So if you look at the controller board, it will say roundhouse, forward, short, fierce, strong, and jab. Your forward will always act as the enter. So if you look at the screen, enter into that, right? Exit is your short, enter, exit. To enter a game, pick a favorite one, and let's go to Pac-Man. Enter, it'll enter, and this is in this screen. Let the game load. So once the game load, your coin button, which is your select button, is always this. As you can see the screen here, when you hit select, it'll add as if you're putting money into it. And you can hear the sound. Start button is always starting the game. Now to reset the current game, it's hold select and short, which is the exit button. That'll reset this current game. Now, if the screen is not ideal, you want to make it expanded bigger, it's select and strong key. You'll bring up the screen, click short, go down to settings, enter, and video, enter, and you can adjust the aspect ratio. And as you adjust left and right, you see how the screen will move. And you want to make it as big as you can, which is all the square in the game. And to get out of it, the same thing. Hold select and strong to get out. And now you're full screen. To exit this game, out of this game, is select, start. It'll come out to the game. Now the button configurations are very simple and mapped to Street Fighter. So what that means is if you enter the game using forward button, as you load, you see the top three is the punches and the bottom three are the kicks. And select, as always, and start. First player, second player. Press the second player, it's two-player selection. Now some games requires less than 6 buttons. Now games that with less buttons, you'll try either the short or forward or jab or strong. In this case, in this game, the jab acts as attack and short as the jump. And forward and everything else, nothing. Because this game only uses 2 buttons. Now again, to get out the game, hold select, start button to exit. Now if you find a game that's very impossible to beat and you require assistance, the select button that's in red pulls up the cheat. So this is the coin up, but this is also coin up, but it also brings up the cheat. Now I would suggest that don't play around with this unless you really need to it. This is also where you input the game if you don't like the selection of the game, enter, and that allows you to adjust the buttons that you want, but most of the games are mapped okay. So you don't need to do that. Now you go down to cheat and press enter and exit, right? Enter, enable cheat, enter, and this is where you can get infinite energy, infinite lives for kids. And you see player 1, player 2, on off, invincibility. Now I don't suggest invincibility because sometimes it craps up the game, but you want to do the infinite lives and energy. And to exit, just press select again until exits. So in this case, you have infinite energy, infinite life. Now you don't have to worry about setting the cheat back off because once you exit this current game, the cheat goes back to disable. Okay. Your on and off button and volume button are already bypassed after modification of system, so they do not work. The volume is controlled by this knob right here. Your LED backlights is controlled by the remote control right here. To properly shut down the system, you press the start button and enter. Start button brings up the main menu. Go down to quit, press the enter button. Once, go down to shut down system, enter. It'll ask you if you want to really shut down, say yes. and you'll see this screen to shut it down, and another screen will pop up. Once that screen, the green little box, goes off, you can unplug the system in the back. Don't leave it plugged in because your computer is still on even though your monitor and the system is off. To properly shut down, you must get an extension cord or just unplug the cord. To really boot it back on, you just plug in the cord and it comes right back on. Sometimes when you boot up the system, it'll bring up to a login screen, and then it'll go back to disk reading, and you have a percentage checking disk. If you see that, just unplug the back, the power cord, and plug it back in, because this is when the computer protects itself, thinking that it's bypassed, and it's going to do a checksum like this. A good example, perfect example. If this happens, we don't need to do anything. Just go back to the wall, unplug it, give it a few seconds, plug it back in. Okay. So this is the proper boot up. You see loading system configs, and it'll show you all the different games and emulators. When it's done, it will take you to main menu and you can start playing your game. Now, every time when you add a new game to your favorite, you must reboot the system in order for it to save. Let's say you add 2 more games in here. You must go here, start, quit, restart system, yes, let it restart, in order to save the changes for the future.